as I say, it was back like 1912 or 1800 or 1700. Like I say, I owned quite a few big ships, and most people would consider me a very rich person and the person of the world that was doing things. Like I said, I owned LS shipyard. I owned Panama. I owned Cuba, Colombia, and I also had a town in Cuba and a couple other towns. And like I said, I was heavily into Ireland and Germany and stuff like that. Well, I mean, it worked. I worked my way along basically, but pretty much in Ireland or one of these countries, basically there was a minor accident, a mining accident, not minor, a small accident. No, it wasn't really a small accident. We lost 400 people basically, or something like that. And there might have been an 1,800 person loss one time or something like that, but I don't think it was that high. Like 300, I think, or 400 was the most. Usually it was like 80 or 36 or something like that, which is still a lot of people. Basically, it's a lot of people to lose in a company. So anyway, though, um, after one of these accidents, you know, the the people were without. I thought about about the women and children of the miners. So and usually the workers would band together and do like a food drive and check on the people, and I would ask them to make sure to check on the wife and child of the person, and to go tell them in person, not just make a phone call, but actually drive to the house and actually talk to them, and talk to the wife and child and make sure they're okay, and even stay with them for a couple of days, and help out and stuff like that. Like I said, those were my directions, and sometimes pay the employee or whatever. Sometimes they'd end up getting married to the girls, of course, or something like that. you know um but anyway, though, but the old miners security fund, when a miner was injured or hurt or killed in a mining accident, basically I set up this pay thing where pretty much the the wife would 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 get basically full pay, or two-thirds of the pay of her husband, you know, if he had kept working in the company, for life or some time, basically, depending on how much money we had and all that, of course, finances and everything else like that. But then and if she got married, it would. Some people said they would lose the benefits if they got married or something like that. I forget. I mean, my mining operation was worldwide in 3 countries or something like that. So I had to watch my pennies, and I was trying to do a lot of nice stuff, like give free coal to people in the cold and do all kinds of. I was trying to be a really great person and trying to be really nice, and everything else, but finances and everything else. And that's another reason why I asked Germany to look after my finances, because I had to make sure that I wasn't overspending or gonna go broke or gonna go bankrupt, because a lot of people depended on me. So I had Germany doing my finances and stuff like that. They're managing, watching all my accounts and everything, and making sure that everybody gets paid right and all that other stuff. Make sure everyone gets the pay raises, and make sure we can afford the pay raises and everything else like that. Because it's a lot of people. You know, I mean, the White Star Alliance alone was huge. It's a lot of money. It's sure there's a lot of money coming in. Like I said, I was making more than the Queen of England, basically. You know, but I was paying out a lot more. My finances. Eventually, I think I divided up the finances to individual countries, to make it easier or something like that, because it was getting to be a headache. As I got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and got more and more. I mean, I was employing two-thirds of the world's population. You know, basically everybody. After I built Germany and everyone saw Germany, everybody wanted to be a part of White Star Lines. You know, everyone. So anyway, though, and plus when they found out about a lot of the things, yeah, when you die inside one of the mines, or when you die in one of the work sites, your wife and child would get money for out of the fund. So anyway, it's just so they could buy groceries and stuff like that, because a lot of people didn't have any savings back then. So it's one of the reasons why so I was doing all this stuff, because anyway, and I was building ships and everything else like that, and that's another reason why everyone was so much behind me, and just so that's why I was like, Rodney, you're a fucking idiot, because I mean, he was like, I'll be your mouth and your eyes and she'll be your ears and blah blah. It's like, my people know me. Like, I have councils and I have professionals to do this shit. I don't need some idiot to be like the mouth and my eyes and my ears. And it's like, what are you, nuts? I mean, 1812, I was, I had Thomas and other and real people that were really in real positions of they were looking after my White Star Line company and after my what's it called. I don't have time to have some idiot Rodney out there going, I'll be your eyes or your ears or whatever. And like, what are you, nuts? I've, you know, I mean, I run countries. I mean, I employ like 2/3 of the world's population. And that's just on Earth. There's, there's, there's 120 or 400 other planets. What are you, nuts? Be saying if we out there going to being my ears or my eyes or whatever. It's like, you're fucking nuts, Rod. I mean, like I say, I mean, like, anyway, whatever. He was fucking nuts. I mean, what can I say? So I mean, I can't just I mean, I was just on a little vacation being a child, but that doesn't mean I can stop being White Lucifer Star. So and then there was Rick Bush or Rick Bash and the Joe's Witnesses, or whatever. I mean, like, fucking what? What are you, a party? Like, you're nuts. So anyway, so like I say, in 1812, anyway, eventually my Irish people, well, at least they knew how I'd run the company. Like I said, we'd been running the company since Helen of Troy and everything else like that. Slowly just working our way up. And I think Rosella might have actually been one of my people and actually done what I wanted to do or something like that. She might have seen one of the what some of the places or whatever. I don't really know. It's all complicated as basically these people are crazy, you know. So anyway, I mean, and without me being in command, basically it means that pretty much you get things like whole islands or whole countries getting annihilated, without. It's like, Rodney, you can't lead these people. You don't know about the steam engines. You don't know how many people, like I used to know how many people I employed on almost every single mine, and I used to know where every single mine was. Like, you can't just like take time off from that. I mean, things happen on a day-to-day basis. You know, I mean, there's food and I mean, as it was, I was trying to set up the whole thing in Europe where people would be using food stamps or whatever, and we could be getting food to them and stuff like that. If they're poor, setting up the whole food thing and everything else like that. I mean, Rodney just thought it was like some sort of joke or some sort of game, some sort of stupid like, oh, money. It's like, it's not money, it's responsibility. These people depend on me. Like, in 2 seconds, and then that's why in 1970, 1980, basically, fucking Rodney or fucking somebody was basically firing and basically putting all these people on the streets. It's like, that's what happens when you get fuckhead in command. You get a whole bunch of old people that get kicked out of their house, and then you have like JFK like going over there to England and basically shooting people in houses and then taking them over. Yeah, and spending a week there and then leaving. And he just killed like 30 people. I mean, like, all those pictures with JFK at a house, they had just killed all the people there and moved in. And even the Secret Service says, and some of the people say, well, there's still belongings in these houses. And still food in the cupboard practically in some of these places. So we knew someone had been there, and we just didn't know where they were. They were dead. They just grab them up and then go take them out back and then shoot them. And then they would spend a week there or spend a vacation there or move some people in there, sell it or whatever. And it's like, that's what JFK was doing. What the Republicans and the Democrats were doing. And then they would call it national security and top secret. That's why they had the Secret Service, because the Secret Service was keeping their secrets. They would take it to their grave. Except even the Secret Service got sick of hearing the women being raped in the White House. Women screaming, help me, help me, help me. So loud that they told the police department not to respond to women crying for help around the White House. Fucking Nixon and JFK. I don't know what the Hell's Angels' involvement was. Like eventually, they would go into the White House and shit on the White House desk, and then try and cut it up with a chainsaw. Like I say, that's what happens. The White House was built for me. That's what happens when you get, I'll be your eyes, your nose, and your ears. Like, Rodney, you're a fucking idiot. Like, so whatever. Yeah, I mean. And then you get Nixon trying to blow up the world. He didn't give a fuck. He was 80. And then he goes on national TV and talks about how he chopped off the left arm and chopped off the right arm. And then the Republicans and Democrats try and say, oh, he was just talking about a couch. They were chopping off the arms of the couch, modifying one of the couches in the White House. It's like, no, he was talking about people. He's talking about how he chopped off the left arm of the person and the right arm of the person. I saw the video. He's chopping off Japanese arm or Chinese men's arm. They would go, there's about 250 people up there in Tibet or up there in China, basically, where they had chopped off the arms of them. Because of Nixon. One of my aircraft flew over and saw them. And knew there had to be a problem, so they started investigating it. So, the Chinese were taking care of them. Some other people were trying to say that they're rapists or something like that. And like, no. They're victims of JFK or Nixon. That's what happens when Rodney's going to be your eyes, your nose, and Rose's going to be your mouth. Rose's going to be your ears. How are you want to lose one of your senses, Brian? Like, you're fucking nuts. Then they're killing reporters. And cleaning out whole newspapers. They'd go and start at the ground floor and work their way up. Killing people. Where was Rodney's senses then? You know, things were happening that needed a response. And what's Rodney doing? Come here, Rizzo, let's fuck. That's Rodney's. That's Rodney. In a house 3 houses down from 471 Mountain Drive. Getting all red-faced. Rodney, you're a fucking idiot. I'm a leader of a country. Leader of the human race and other races. It's not wild coke time. It's not what being a leader is about. Meanwhile, they're trying to give the country of Germany over to Adolf Hitler. You know, which he's not even the original Adolf Hitler. He's just some guy with a mustache. Meanwhile, people are driving around Germany, just driving up roads, trying and shooting their way past guard posts to see what's up there. And getting killed. Meanwhile, other people are raping women like crazy. It's chaos. And what's Rodney doing? Yeah! And people are driving around with nuclear bombs in the trunk of their car, going, if I go to jail, we all go. In Russia. They want to lock me up and lobotomize me. Like, it's fucking nuts. Nixon and other people was like, the blue wall. The blue wall. Like, the cops are crooked, more crooked than the gang members, practically.